Good morning, Miss Kelly Baker. How are you today?
Pretty good. A little bit worried. I don't just get phone calls all the time to come up to the school, so I'm okay.
Okay. Well, first of all, I want to say I really appreciate you coming in, and I know that once I talked to you a little bit over the phone, you did seem pretty concerned about your daughter, Casey Baker, and that's understandable. But so we are here today, and the purpose of this meeting is basically to inform you that Casey, she actually is undergoing, well, she's having suicidal thoughts.
Really?
Yes, she is.
How do you know?
Well, I found out, well, we were informed that she actually gave her teacher a a little written note that she had in the classroom, and she shared it with the teacher. And so in that note, she explained that she was having feelings, lonesome feelings. She felt as if she didn't fit in the crowd and just didn't belong. And from there, part of taking away that pain of what she was feeling, she basically began cutting herself. Yes, I know. But yeah, she ended up cutting herself. And then also her teacher, this did occur in her biology class. Her teacher, Mrs. Casey, I'm sorry, Mrs. Durago, she ended up receiving a note from Casey, but she also, as she was reaching for the letter, she saw and identified those cuts on her arm as well. So that was kind of confirmation with the letter along with the cuts that she noticed.
And so, and Casey, like, did she admit that she did like cut herself?
When I did sit down with her, yes, she did. She did admit she was kind of she was kind of like resistant of getting the truth out, but after a while, just giving her the time to speak, she did finally come out and say yes.
Okay.
So
I'm really glad she's talking to y'all, because I had like no idea. So it's good that she like feels comfortable with y'all or whatever. Just to this is really bad.
Yes. Well, we don't. I know it can seem that way, but like I said, we as counselors, our job is just to make sure that we are doing the best that we can for our students and looking for ways to help prevent, situations like this happening. But I think Casey, if we continue to monitor her and we go with her safety plan, and after today, I'm going to refer you with something, I think she will be on a good track. So definitely at home, try to keep an eye out on her. She did mention that you are like a single parent in the household, and that those were other factors that kind of play. She doesn't get a lot of one-on-one time with you because you're working, but that's understandable as a single parent in the household. But those were some kind of things she mentioned, and but from there, I did want to. Did you have any questions?
Yeah. So tell me about like the safety plan. Like, what is that?
Okay, so her safety plan. So let me first start off that we began with a suicide risk assessment, and basically it's a summary according to. It just determines whether a child is mild or if they're moderate risk or severe risk of suicide ideation. So it's just different levels. So for instance, did did Casey have details to fully explain how she wanted to hurt herself, or how did she want to commit suicide? Or it tells you how fully prepared if she wanted to hurt herself. Like, has she been planning it since last month, or this just randomly just occurred? Like, and it also goes further in how soon or when the next time she feel, or what causes her to trigger to want to cut herself. So it's just like a nice in-depth documentation that categorizes her risk. So she actually fell into the mild risk area, and so which means, well, matter of fact, she was very close for a risk, mild and moderate. So and because of those two reasons, this is the reason why we had to bring you in. No matter what the risk, we would have to bring the parent in immediately, but definitely because of these reasons, we're going to have to go ahead and move with the safety plan. But I want to show you this, Mom, if Mrs. Baker, like if you want to look at that a little more and see what some of the things Casey told me according to you know, how she felt, why she cuts herself, what are the causes, what are the reasons, and things like that.
Okay. So I guess she's saying like she's in some pain, but she feels like she can bear it. I wonder, does she have like ways that she like gets over it or makes herself like not seem so, you know, like sad? Did she say anything like that? Did she like try anything that makes her feel better?
Yes. So then glad you got to that, Mrs. Baker. This is actually what I was getting ready to move to next, which is her safety plan. So a safety plan is just basically a document for Casey to keep within her you know, within her her items and her personal belongings, and it's just something to keep her reminded of why, or a promise why she should not hurt herself. It's like she's promising to say that, you know, moving forward, I don't want to hurt myself, or I don't want to cut myself no longer. So these are the things she displayed, Mom. She said she actually likes to talk to her cousin Brittany, and maybe because they just have a closer bond. But she did also say she doesn't get as much time with Brittany because, like I said, either like she's playing that you're working, or when she, but she did mention when she has those time with Brittany, she feels incredible. She feels alive. She feels, so maybe that's the one thing, get her and Brittany more time together, or if they can have those opportunities. Ways that she says she gets rid of the feelings or try to cope from it, she loves reading.
Okay.
So she explains a few mystery novels that she loved, and I kind of wrote down a few, and I can give those to you in a minute. And then also writing in her journal. So do you know, have you ever seen her at home like writing in a journal?
Yeah, she has like this little pink book, and I always see her. It's like whenever I come around, she like close it or like act like she done with whatever she doing, and she kind of like put it in her backpack. So I think I know like what you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's definitely it. So she is writing, and those happen to be those factors that's helping her at this moment. So I would definitely encourage you to kind of help remind her, like this is part of her plan to take initiative to remember herself. But if you can remind her as well, like her journal or mystery, or buy her new books that involves, you know, new mysteries just came out, because that's just her interest. But then also we have like phone numbers that if, let's say that number 1 fails, Brittany's not around. Number 2 happens, step 2 of her safety plan fails, where she just, the novel's just not working. She still continues, will want to cut or have the urge to cut, or something triggers her to cut, then she can always reach out to these phone numbers where there's somebody to speak with her.
Okay.
And they will stay on the line with her how long. All of these calls are free. She can dial out for her cell phone at any time of the day, 24-hour services.
Okay.
So yes.
So, like, what do I do? Like, I didn't know that, you know, she was feeling like sad and lonely. I didn't know like she was like cutting. Like, is she just like supposed to like come see you? Like, am I supposed to try to get her to talk to me? Like, what do I do? I feel like it's my baby and I done like raised her, but she just like a teenager now, and it just seemed like we, you know, like growing distant, and I just don't know what to do. Like, I don't want the baby to like hurt herself or anything, but she don't really like let me in. So
right, and that's
what do I do?
That's typical, Mrs. Baker. A lot of times as teens are, you know, emerging into that new developmental stage, they kind of will back away. I would say as a mother, you know, continue to do what you're doing, keep supporting her, keep definitely asking those questions, and find those moments where you can spend time with her, and maybe, you know, she will begin to open up. But in the meantime, things that you can do, I'm gonna go ahead and refer you basically to some organizations where you can get extended counseling services, because basically, as far as my job, it doesn't go to this extent, so you would have to go get additional services. So that's another factor that you can do to help your daughter.
So, I mean, do I gotta take her to like the psych hospital? Does she need like counseling? Is she crazy? Like...
No, she's not crazy. It's she just needs like additional, like a therapist to sit down.
Okay.
And they have different strategies and factors and tests that they use to determine, further, okay, what's really going on with Casey. So, but I do have here certain agencies that will support her while she goes through this journey. So do you have any insurance? Do y'all have insurance, family insurance that
no
you can afford? Okay.
I just started like this new job, and so it's like temp to hire. So like right now, like I'm in the temporary phase, so it's no like benefits with it right now. So
okay.
No, at this point we don't.
Okay. Well, definitely don't fret, Mom, Mrs. Baker. I will say that we do have a few services that will support you in this journey with your daughter. Basically, these programs like the North Shore Counseling Center, they basically work with families that don't have insurance, but also according to their income. They try to work out a plan with you so that you can still get those wonderful services that your daughter needs. So, and then like I said, if you want me to, I can go ahead and would you like me to call? If you need and you have the time, we can go ahead and start reaching out and calling the services now if you like.
I do, because to be honest, like in my culture, in my family, like we don't do like
counseling.
Yeah, we don't do that. This is like taboo. Like I can't even believe we, kind of like in this situation. So like if I call them, like I don't know like what to say. I don't know anything. So yeah, like I feel like I need all the help I can get. I would appreciate it if you could, like help me like through that process.
Okay, absolutely, and that's not an issue. So which one would you be more interested? The North Shore and the South Side. These are both they don't have to be supported with insurance. So which one? And we could go ahead and start making phone calls. But before we make phone calls, select your insurance. And if you need, not your insurance, select your service that you would like. And then go ahead and sign in. We can start making those phone calls now.
Okay. Probably the one that's like closest to our house.
Okay. Well, definitely the North Shore Counseling Center, because we're in the that's Freeport, and that's not too far. Probably like 10 minutes from this campus. Okay. So where's your area of staying?
We live about maybe like 5 minutes like from campus driving.
Okay, so this will be a perfect option for you. So, but we definitely can get on that right now. So I'm glad, once again, I'm glad you came in, and we can get this part filled out and we can start making those phone calls.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.